In SolidWorks, you can add geometric relations to sketch entities to indicate your design intent. So let's say if you want to change this shape into this more regular form. So here are the examples you can add the geometric relationships. Like for instance, these two represent, and these two lines has to be horizontal lines, and these two lines has to be parallel to each other, and these two lines has to be perpendicular to each other, and so on. So in order to add those geometric relationships, you need to select the sketch entity or entities to add geometric relationships to. So here, let's say I want to add this line to be horizontal. Then there are two ways you can do it. One is using this display delete relations tool under sketch menu here, command manager. If you expand it by clicking on this small triangle here, there's an add relation command. So if you press it, you can select entities here. So whatever you select will go into that entity, and depending on the type of the entity you selected, some relationship you can add to appear. So here you can either set horizontal and vertical. That's because you selected a line segment. So if you selected different ones, different sets of relationships that are applicable to that particular selection will appear. So all I need is just select horizontal, and as you can see here, green button shows up, and that indicates that constraint is added, or there's an existing relations bar. Here you add that one. So if you want to change your mind and you want to delete that, you just right click mouse button on the delete or hit the delete key. I add it back, or here you can just select this one and just right click and delete, or you just can press the delete key. It'll delete it. So once that is done, that is no longer horizontal. I add the horizontal back, but this time using different method. This is my preferred way. I'll just select the entity, and I don't go into that command. I just select the entity, and then automatically line properties pops up. Here you can have a group box that add relations, so the same set of constraints showing. So I select horizontal, and that is added, and select another line and horizontal. So those two are added. So I'm going to move it closer to that. Now these are the constraint applied to one entity, sketch entity. But here I want to add a parallel relationship that is for two entities. So the constraints are for this line and that line, so related to entities. So in order to do that, you have to select both of them together. So in order to do that, in Windows convention, if you want to select multiple entities together, you need to press Control key. So while you're pressing Control key, when the Control key is down, select both of them together, and then the two selected entities are selected here. And now because the two line segments are selected, different sets of relations pops up, and what we want is parallel. Okay, so select parallel, and they maintain to be parallel. So you can keep doing it here. These two lines has to be perpendicular to each other. Press the Control key, select both them together, and then look for the proper relation, and here is the perpendicular. Select it. Same thing here, select two entities together while pressing Control key, and properties, add relations, parallel, and so on. So the last thing, I need to add these two lines together and perpendicular. So all these geometry constraints are added. All you need is just adjust the shape so that it looks more closer to the shape. Since we don't have any dimension to this one, so just a rough similar shape would be fine for this exercise.